On the show today, we're going to recap Global Fusion Festival 2011 with the lady who helped bring fun to the city. Also on the show today, one of the great sponsors of Global Fusion stops by to talk about the impact that it has on the business community. He is inspiring people all across the Delaware Valley on 103.9. And we've got a physician that's going to help you improve your medical condition. All on today's show. It's the Micah Sims Show.
You're watching WMCN TV, and yes, you have tuned into the Micah Sims Show. Thank you for joining me. You know what we do every single Tuesday and Thursday. We are right here with you, bringing you the top 60-minute news and lifestyle talk show in the greater Philadelphia area. I'm your host, Micah Sims, and joining me on this lovely day outside here at 12th and Market is one of my correspondents, Miss Vanessa Baker. How are you, Vanessa?
Very good, very well.
Like it being outside today?
I do.
I know, I like
Nice
this. It's
change,
a
I
nice
like it.
change of pace, a little outside. You know what we do here on the Micah Sims Show? We're always here, right here at 12th and Market Street, the Loews Hotel. You're always welcome to come down and join us during any of our tapings, but I like the feel of downtown Philadelphia. There's no better place that I would shoot this show than downtown Philadelphia, right?
Yes, best
Yeah.
city in the world.
Best city in the world. We got a great show lined up for you, but I want to take it back inside and go to Manuel Glenn with our headlines for today.
Thank you, Micah. You know, the ABCAR test. Since 1952, the ABCAR test has been given to determine whether or not an infant within the first 5 minutes of existence is going to need special help with breathing or their heart rate. Well, now scientists have found a way to determine whether or not an infant at that early stage with the ABCAR test will have any special education needs. Now the ABCAR test will be applied to young men and women born by the time they're 1 or 2 years old. You'll be able to figure out just what they'll need educationally for the rest of their life. We're moving ahead. Have you been distracted because you're texting too much? You've heard of people texting and walking into fountains. Well, guess what? Now people are being distracted while they're exercising. That's right. They're on the treadmill texting, boom, they're running off. They're somewhere running texting, they're running into stop signs. Well, we're becoming so digitally obsessed that now 5 states, including New York, is now cracking down on people doing this and establishing new laws. And finally, you heard me talk about digitally obsessed? Well, guess what? Hotels are now preparing for their guests detox packages. That's right. Hotels are making digitally obsessed detox packages. You check in, your gadgets check out. What they're providing are things like board games and books, literary pursuits, things to keep you more focused on the things that are more important than just texting, looking at your iPad, looking at your whatever. That's the headline news today, Micah. Back to you.
Almost a month ago, the city of Philadelphia was going crazy because of Global Fusion Festival 2011. For 7 days, the Multi-Affairs Congress of the Pennsylvania Visitor, no, it's Philadelphia. Is it Pennsylvania?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. See, that's why she's here already. Convention and Visitors Bureau put together an unbelievable lineup of activities, events that literally held this city captive. And we were a part of it. So we decided to take a good portion of today's show and recap Global Fusion Festival 2011. Joining me on the show right now is the Assistant Director to the Multi-Affairs Congress, Miss Elka Battle. Hello, Elka. How are you?
Hello, Micah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I know this is, I'm honored because you usually don't do this.
No, I don't.
You know?
Only for you.
Only for me,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Tell everybody how you got involved with Global Fusion.
Well, it was actually brought to our office. We're the Office of Multicultural Affairs Congress, so we really market the city for multicultural visitors.
Okay.
So we needed something that was really going to attract out-of-town visitors and still our convention attendees to come into Philadelphia. So what better way to do it than have a festival and have a branded festival? Yes, yes.
Now, speaking of a branded festival, every year except for the first year, right, it's had a name to it?
Just
a
the past
theme
2
to it?
years.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Why did I think it had?
I don't know. But do you want to know the reason behind
Yes,
that?
I need to know the reason why. You know I do.
Yes, the reason is because our first 3 years we were really focused on the name of Global Fusion and making that a homegrown name where everybody would remember and come out every year and every summer. And so we got to the point where people wanted more.
Okay.
And so we figured that we can just actually theme it every year. Our first theme last year was Pangea.
Pangea, which was awfully hard to
Yes.
tell everybody about. Remember
Yes.
that? I'm picking up the phone going, Elka, am I saying it right? Is it Pangea?
Yes,
What is it?
definitely. I mean, as soon as we would say it, it was funny because people would Google on their cell phones really quickly to find out what it meant.
Right.
Yes.
And this year you decided on
Carnival.
Carnival. All right, we're still in the mode of Global Fusion Festival 2011, the recap. Yes, it was historic on so many levels. Elka talked about the fact that they reach out to businesses, to organizations, try to get all the supporters that they can from the greater Philadelphia area to support Global Fusion Festival, which is a week because of Elka. No. And one of those supporters, one of those entities that helped support Global Fusion actually brought a very historical moment to Global Fusion Festival 2011 is here joining me. Here's the CEO of Philadelphia Status, Mr. Mike Morrow. Mr. Morrow, how are you, sir?
Thanks for having me, bro.
I'm always glad to have you on the show. Always glad to have you. You took a unique twist to Global Fusion this year.
Well, I don't want to take all the credit.
Okay.
It was actually Elka's idea.
It's
Oh,
again.
yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
I did bring it to life.
Okay.
Help bring it to life. But you know, the Global Fusion Festival is a huge thing, man.
Yeah.
And to have no spirits on site, you know, can hurt some of the adult traffic.
Sure,
so
right.
Definitely, Elka brought it up. We made it happen. You know, they worked with us on it, and it was a good look.
So it was actually Elka's idea.
Everything is
It's just-
Elka's idea.
Everything is
the idea,
Elka.
just the idea. He
I like that
definitely
line.
spearheaded.
Everything is Elka's
Yeah.
idea. As a sponsor for the beer garden, what were you, Coors Light, hoping to get out of the relationship, get out of the experience?
Honestly, the MAC has built such a following over the last 5 years of multicultural folks between the ages of, kids to adults.
Yeah.
Obviously, we wanted to capture those adults. Those are the influencers in the market, and give them a treat. You know, Coors Light, it's been around for a while. It's one of the coldest beers. That's my plug.
Yes, there it is. Plug it.
You know, and we obviously wanted to give them something that they can do in between sets, you know, just to cool off. It was a very hot day, and Elka helped that happen. So it's a good time. I had a great time.
Yeah, it was great. Not only did you guys participate, Mike, on Saturday, but you guys really made an impact and had presence everywhere. You helped out with us on Monday night and a number of events during the week. When you look at Global Fusion from how it began to where it is now, your thoughts?
Well, one thing I have to say is that event across the street at the Hard Rock was a great event.
Thank
you know, way to kick it off.
Thank you.
Global Fusion started, and you know, once again, Elka can say it best, but Global Fusion started in high mode already. So really,
Yeah.
you know, it was scary because it could only, you know, you feel like something that starts that way can only go down. So obviously, it kept, you know, building and growing.
They go higher every year.
Yeah, and then this
Just saw some great footage from Global Fusion Festival 2011, particularly the Saturday event. Speaking of the Saturday event, it's really all about the concert. It's really all about the performers. So I got to ask Elka, how do you come up with the lineup?
Well, there's a lot of local interest that we have, and especially with our partnership with Clear Channel Philadelphia, specifically WDAS, Power 99 FM, and Roomba. Those channels really come in highly with support of different artists that they want to bring to the table.
Yeah.
So it's kind of under our discretion of who we would like to choose that year, but I mean, their support really has raised it up to another notch.
Yeah, quick shout out to Clear Channel, did a great job again this year. Deja, this is the second year you've covered the talent.
Absolutely.
So, better lineup this year than last year. What do you think?
I mean, I think there was a lot of star power, and I think there was a lot for everybody, because I think last year was more geared to a younger audience, and this one I think it kind of broadened its scope.
How do you think? Because less rap and more kind of...
I mean, you have people like Brenda K. Starr, who was able to go, you know, people who are like my mom's age and remember, you know, stuff, you know, when
Wait
she
a
was.
minute. I remember. I remember Bridget K. Star. I'm not your mother's age.
Well, I don't know.
I
I do too, yes.
Okay,
I remember the song she sang, but I was like very young.
Yeah.
You know, and then you had, I mean, all the way like Meek Mill's Mano, and that appeals to the younger audience as well as Estelle. So I think it was a nice range, a good scope, and it touched a lot of people.
Okay, you guys are always trying to match the name, global. So you're always trying to reach out for artists in the Caribbean, overseas.
Yes.
I think you achieved that this year, you think?
Yes, definitely. I think with the addition of Sherwin Winchester, did you see his?
Amazing.
My
yes.
gosh, yes.
Amazing.
He actually came from Trinidad and Tobago, so and you know our theme was Carnival.
Right.
So what better person to bring than the king of Trinidad, what they like to call him. So he was so energetic, and it was just powerful performance. Just seeing the crowd wave their flags of their island, it was really, really powerful.
Deja, in events like this, sometimes the artists can get a little finicky. They can get a little, you know, on a slight ego trip. Don't really want to be bothered too much. How did you feel about artists and their accessibility to the media, to the fans this year?
Well, I think that most of them were very, very open to questions. They did press conferences, pretty much all of them. 99% of the artists did press conferences. So it was great to get those interviews, to get some information. And one of the ones that we wasn't able to do the press conference, we actually.
Here on the Micah Sims Show, we are concerned about your health and your living. So we've decided to install a new segment here on the Micah Sims Show called Healthy Living. And I decided to bring one of the best physicians in town from the Einstein Hospital, Dr. Donee Patterson, on to help us understand what we need to do when we visit our doctors. Hey, Dr. Patterson, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you for taking time out of your hectic and busy schedule to come down here, because I think it's important that our viewers understand they need to do everything possible to improve their living.
Absolutely.
And you do a great job at Einstein. You're the director of
medical community outreach. I'm a physician, but I'm also the director of medical community outreach.
And what does that entail for you?
So it means I go on the front lines. I go out to different faith-based organizations, whether it's churches, mosques. I go to high schools. I go to middle schools, elementary schools, malls, wherever I'm needed, just to get the word out about health. I think for the most part, if you just ask anyone, even here in your audience today, if you ask them, do you have a medical question? People at least have 3-4 medical questions. So
I got about 7 for you, but I know you can't stay all day.
Exactly. So we care enough about your health that they're actually sending a physician out that I can answer questions. I can, talk about things that you may not have time to talk to your doctor about, just because we care so much about your health.
How long has Einstein been doing this initiative, this kind of outreach in the community?
I've been with Einstein not quite a year.
Okay.
They have lots of community service. There's other physicians who do go out. But I'm the first director of medical community outreach, and so we're trying to do a major push just to make sure that the people in our area are educated.
When you go out, is there a different focus every month? Do they change it up? Is it on healthy eating? Does it change on per month?
It does vary. Different months have themes, and sometimes we go around the themes: prostate cancer month, or colon cancer awareness month, breast cancer awareness. But when I go to a place, I definitely want to know, well, what are some of the issues? And so there might be all older women and they want to talk about menopause. There may be younger teens and they want to talk about STDs or tattoos and body piercing. We talk about a lot of different things.
I got to bring you back for the tattoo and body piercing thing. We
Absolutely.
definitely need to have a conversation about that. Today, I brought Dr. Patterson on because I think it's important that when we go visit our doctors, we get the maximum out of the visit.
Exactly.
The maximum. We need to get everything I can out of that 30-minute, hour and a half. How long should our doctor visit be?
Well, most people don't think about it this way, but most doctor visits are about 15, 20-minute intervals. And if you have multiple medical problems, you need to understand that. Sometimes it's more. And definitely for physical exams, it'll be a little bit more.
Okay.
But you can get everything you need from that visit. But I find so often people aren't prepared, or they come and they're just waiting for the doctor to speak, and that'll happen as well. Right. But there is a way that you can maximize your time and have an efficient doctor's visit and leave with everything you need to know. And I think that people need to be taught that. It's not common sense all the time.
Yeah.
It's some things that may seem simple, but it's not always common sense, and we need to teach people how to make their visits very effective.